Students, your teacher Mrs. Batul Sabuwala will continue with the weaker sections of the societies. We were at scheduled tribes and I'll continue from there. Scheduled tribes. Student, in the previous video we have discussed about the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes also, and we have seen that how malnourished they all are just because they do not have proper quality of food and insufficient food is being provided to them. We will see further. Students, come to page number 35 of your textbook. So students, we had seen that just because they were living for a longer period of time in the remote parts, the scheduled tribes. Who are scheduled tribes? They are actually the Adivasis who were living in the jungles, and they are economically and socially backward. We have seen that now they have started in contact with the modern world, but still they have not met with the modern equipments, with the modern facilities. That is why they earn their living with farming or with forest produce, but just they have not getting farming implements properly, so their income is very less, and just because they are not getting proper food and proper quality of diet, that is why they are malnourished. Adivasis in remote areas find it difficult to get medical attention in time. For all these reasons, there is a need to give special protection to Adivasis. Therefore, in the Indian Constitution, Adivasi have been enumerated as scheduled tribes. They are getting even representations in law board, education, government service, etc. So just because they are backward, now we are striving them hard so that they can also join with us into the modern times, and also they themselves get modernized. So for them special seats are also been reserved, and there are from the scheduled tribes also many representatives have been selected in the law board, in the education system, and also in the government services. The next that we will see now about the other sections, that is nomadic and denotified tribes. Nomadika, who students? Nomadika, those people, they do not stay at a particular place. They go on moving from one place to another in search of food, in search of water. Like you might have heard that earlier the Stone Age people, they were nomadic in nature. That means if their food product in a particular area is getting over, so they used to shift to some another place, and there they used to get food. So we'll see about nomadic and denotified tribes. Castes and tribes that move from one place to the another place for a livelihood are included under the nomadic tribes. Now some caste people, or you can say some tribal people, they go on moving from one place to another place just in search of their livelihood. They are termed as nomadic tribes. They live by rearing animals and engaging in some other occupations. The British has declared some of them as criminal tribes. कुछ लोगों को thugs भी बोला जाता था. Some of them will be termed as criminal tribes. लुटेरे, जिसको we say in our normal language, तो उनको वैसा भी बताया जाता था. But it was that in the law of 1871, to curb the crimes, to stop the crimes, some of the main groups were mentioned as criminal tribes. कुछ groups को ऐसे criminal tribes term कर दिया गया था, and the occupation and movements were also being banned. They were not allowed to move from their villages, and they were not even allowed to enter into the forest or any other places by the British government. This unjust law was repealed in the post-independence period, and the curb on these tribes were lifted. Now during the British period, क्योंकि British लोग वो समझते थे कि कुछ groups of people जो है या कुछ groups जो है वो क्रिमिनल का काम करते हैं, तो इनके लिए पाबंदी लगाई गई थी, बैन लगाई गई थी. और दे वर नॉट बीन अलाउड टू मूव फ्रॉम दे, मतलब एक ही जगह पे आपको रहना है, आप मूव नहीं कर सकते, आप फॉरेस्ट में नहीं जा सकते. वैसे बहुत सारी रिस्ट्रिक्शंस लगाई गई थी इन ट्राइब्स के ऊपर. लेकिन आफ्टर द इंडिपेंडेंस ये सब जो लॉज जो ब्रिटिशर्स ने बनाए थे, ये सब उनको लेवी कर दिया था. उनको ये जो था, ये जितनी भी उनके ऊपर जो पाबंदियाँ लगाई गई थी ये सब वो हटा दी गई थी उनके ऊपर से. They were included under denotified tribes, that is विमुक्त जाति या VJNT. So the meaning of the denotified tribes, that is DNT, is also known as Vimukta Jati, are the tribes that were originally listed as criminal tribes and addicted to the systematic commission of non-bailable offence. इसका मतलब ये है कि यहाँ पे अगर कोई भी ये जाति का और यू कैन से एनी पर्सन फ्रॉम दिस ट्राइब, उनको अगर पकड़ा जाता है, दे आर बी अरेस्टेड, तो उनके लिए कोई बेल अवेलेबल नहीं है. एक बार जेल में चले गए तो उनके लिए कोई माफ़ी नहीं है. दे कैन नॉट बी रिलीज फ्रॉम द जेल. देयर इट वॉज नॉन बेलेबल ऑफेंस फॉर देम. सो वंस अ ट्राइब बिकेम नोटिफाइड एज क्रिमिनल, अगर कोई ट्राइब को नोटिफाई कर दिया है कि ये एक क्रिमिनल ट्राइब है, तो वही ट्राइब के ऑल इट्स मेंबर्स वर रिक्वायर्ड टू रजिस्टर विद द लोकल मजिस्ट्रेट, फेलिंग which they would be charged as a crime under the Indian Penal Code. अगर उस वही ट्राइब के सभी मेंबर्स को लोकल मजिस्ट्रेट के पास जाके उनको रजिस्टर करना है, अगर मानो फॉर एग्जांपल कि अगर वो लोग ये करना भूल गए तो ये भी एक क्राइम माना जाता था अकॉर्डिंग टू द इंडियन पेनल कोड. Now all these things were been there during the British period, but after the independence all these things were being removed. All these bans which were been there, all these rules which were been there, which was been imposed by the British government, was being removed from them. Special efforts are made by the government for the purpose of their social and economic development. These tribes have been given representation in education institution and the government sectors. Now since they are tribal people and पहले से ही उनके ऊपर इतनी bans लगाए गए थे and they were being termed as criminals and so on, so the government after the independence, what they have been done, they have been providing them the representations all in the education institutions also and in many government sectors also. So now these people can freely enjoy their rights given by the constitution, and also not only that, reservations are at certain places, representations are also been done, reservations is also done for their better education and for jobs and for in the other government sectors. Now student, the next is minorities. Who are minorities? A society or a group of people of particular religion or language or race, we are very few in number, means less than 50%, they are termed as minorities. In any society, a group of people of a particular religion, language or race who are few in number are termed as minorities. There are various religion, sect जिसको हम पद कहते हैं, and languages in our country. We see great cultural diversity. Now students, we know that India is a multilinguistic, multi-religious country and many religions are being practiced over here, and people belonging to different religion, they reside in India. So there are any society where of a particular religion speaking a different language and belonging to a different race, but there are very few in numbers, less than 50%, you can say, very few in numbers. All those are being termed as minorities. Here you can see Muslims, Sikh, Christian, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis, all these are being termed as minorities. There is variation in culture, traditions too. You see, everyone's culture, everyone's traditions are different. So in order to preserve their cultural traditions and develop their own language, the constitution gives the citizen certain education and cultural rights. So government has given them the protection of and to preserve their cultural tradition and also the language that they are speaking, and also to develop their own language. This right has been given, education and cultural right has been given by the Constitution of India. Minorities have the right to protect and conserve their own religion, their own language, their own culture and tradition. They have the right to set up a separate education institutions. Now we can take an example that let's take an example of Mumbai itself. that over here there are many Islamic schools that have been running over here. So here it is that the government has given them rights, and we have many schools where we have English medium, then we have Urdu medium, we have Hindi medium, we have Marathi medium, like that with different mediums and different schools have been there. So government has given them right to set up their educational institutions, and government implements various schemes for their progress. So students, in this particular chapter we have seen about the empowerment of women, about what empowerment has been and what are the different movements taken out by the women, and the laws made for the protecting the rights of the women, about the different other sections of the society. There are scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, nomadic and denotified tribes. We have seen about minorities also, students, in this particular chapter. So in the next chapter we shall learn about the progress that India has made in the field of science and technology in the post-independence period. So what are the progress made by India after the independence in the field of science and technology, that we will cover in the second part. Students, the question answers and the PDF are also been given to you. See that you complete your book on time, and with this, students, thank you.